Hello, eavesdroppers. Welcome back to another pop culture tarot reading. I hope you all are feeling like $1,000,000. All right, on today's episode, we are looking into Blue Ivy again. This was a requested reading. All right, this is a part 2. And this is about Blue Ivy's music career, I believe. All right, so the first question here is, everything I said in this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I have no proof, so take it with a grain of salt. First question is, when she debuts in the next 3 years, based on my last reading, how many sales will her album debut in the first week? Okay, so they want me to be specific about the range from 1 to 100,000 the first week, or 1 to 200,000, so forth, so on. So let's say, in 3 years, within the next 3 years, which is my prediction that she will debut with a big song, how many sales will she have the first week? We have the Knight of Pentacles. It's going to be a pretty steady, realistic number. The Four of Swords. And the Three of Pentacles here. So this is the early stages of her career here. It feels like she starts off with a bang. It feels like, I'm going to say between 1 and 200,000 based on these cards. It won't be astronomical with the Knight of Pentacles. That's more of a slow burn. So I don't see her coming out the gate selling 500,000. But I'm going to say between 1 and 200,000. By the time she debuts in 3 years, second question. You say she's getting vocal lessons to sing like Beyonce. Will her voice sound good with all the training? It says because they're vocal lessons with people who can't sing at all. And then 1 to 3 years later, they can really sing. You just need to get the vocal lessons. Okay. So in other words, will her voice be good by the time she debuts? Not now, but by the time she debuts. Okay, so what is her voice sounding like by the time she debuts? Oh, you have the Sun and you have the Nine of Wands. What this gives me is that she'll have a very warm tone to her voice with the Sun here, Leo energy. But this Nine of Wands shows me she will struggle maybe with hitting higher notes. She will have some points with this she struggles with. There's some things she just cannot do with her voice, even with vocal training. I do feel like she's very close right now to being as good as she'll be, as a youthful person. She's still a child. And I think that she's still working out those kinks, but she is making great strides with the Nine of Wands. But she struggles with being able to have the range that her mother has. So she's going to be fine. She's going to have a warm tone to her voice. She could be an alto. She can have a lower register. But I feel like she'll stay in her zone. Okay? When she debuts and performs by herself, will Beyonce's fans still like it's on Beyonce's level? Let's see. We have the Seven of Cups, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Lovers, we have the Temperance card. She may have a duet when she first debuts. She may not come out as a solo artist. She may have a song featuring possibly her mother, I'm not sure. But there's someone else performing with her. She's not on stage by herself because she's too frightened with this Nine of Swords. Like I said before, she has major stage fright. She needs a companion. She needs somebody up there with her. Is it going to be a sibling? Maybe a roomie doing something to distract. She needs something to distract the crowd. She's very nervous about being up there by herself. The fans will take to her. They'll be patient with her because they love Beyonce. She'll get like sort of an unfair advantage here, and people are also going to give her grace because of her age and her lack of experience here. But there's a lot of anxiety that she feels. There's a lot of wanting to pull out, not do it, not go through with it. Okay, well, let me come out with the song that may be a duet to begin with. Maybe it features her father rapping or something. There's something else, someone else here. So will she be well received? Absolutely she will be. But this is going to be something that they slowly unveil. Her unveiling is going to be a major unveiling. Y'all know Beyonce does everything meticulously, methodically. That's the same way she's going to handle her daughter's career. Okay. When she debuts, is Beyonce going to help her on her entire debut album? Okay. We have the Page of Cups and we have the Ten of Swords. Yes, because she's going to want to save her from the wolves. She doesn't want her daughter's feelings hurt. She knows she's an innocent child. She knows she's sensitive. She's young. She's a novice. She's going to help her because she wants to prevent her from falling into certain pitfalls here. She's going to let her learn, though. She's gonna let her learn. Beyonce is a stickler for perfectionism and professionalism. She's gonna teach her a lot. There's some things she can't protect her from, and she knows that. But she's going to try to prepare her as much as possible because she wants to shield and protect her innocence here. She doesn't want the wrong people getting a hold of her daughter. But I told you all, there's something here about, I feel, especially like social media. She's going to not allow her to be on social media. To my knowledge, I don't think Blue Ivy has any social media accounts because she's shielding her from that. She doesn't want her to hear the rude comments, the insults. She doesn't want there to be any humiliation or failures. So she's going to prepare her. She's going to hold her hand. Okay, Beyonce, I'm sorry, let's see. Is Beyonce going to be on her debut album or not? Okay, so is she? Will she be on the debut album? We have a yes with the Page of Pentacles. That could be a small contribution. She won't try to overshadow her daughter here. And then we have the Six of Cups. Yeah, the thing is, this is going to be a very age-appropriate album and music. Six of Cups. That's about the youth. So she's going to maintain her youthfulness with this Page of Pentacles. Again, she's teaching her. She's the student. Beyonce is the teacher. She's passing the torch to her daughter. I just talked about this in Beyonce's reading. If you all didn't see that, I did a Beyonce energy reading. And she's trying to hold out, giving up her throne. This is why she's working so hard, so she can pass the torch to her daughter. But she's absolutely going to be on the debut album, but I feel like it'll be, maybe you'll see her name in the credits. You'll see her name as a producer or something like that. But she's going to let her daughter have the spotlight, have the shine. Okay. When Blue Ivy drops her debut album, will Beyonce pose people to buy her album or she won't? So will she promote it, is what you're saying. Will Beyonce promote Blue Ivy? Yes, 10 of Cups is all in the family. She said, this is a family business. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. She won't do it too much. She's not trying to turn people off. It's going to be balanced. It's going to be, done in a reasonable way. But this is mixing business with pleasure. The Two of Pentacles is business and pleasure. She's like, this is my baby. I'm passing the torch to my baby. Yes, she will promote it, but again, it will be done in moderation. It won't be something that she overdoes to turn people off. Her social media platforms are not going to suddenly become Blue Ivy social media platforms. All right, so does Beyonce want Blue Ivy to surpass Michael Jackson? We have yes, and we have maybe. We got the Page of Wands and we have the Hangman. She feels like over time she will. She has the potential to do it. I always feel like that's probably insurmountable because Michael Jackson is like the greatest artist of all time, biggest selling artist of all time, really big shoes to fill. And I also feel like she's saying that this is something that will take time. She knows that she's not going to come out the gate being, as big as Michael Jackson. But she's like, she does have a fair chance of being that child star because she's been around since she's been a little kid. She's been, in the public eye. So this Page of Wands is someone who's good on stage. But again, it's like they're cultivating her slowly. She does want her to be, but she doesn't think it will happen. She knows those are big shoes to fill. Okay, next question. It says, you said another girl would debut before 2031 that will dethrone Beyonce. What the girl debuts that dethrones Lee? What the girl debuts that dethrones Beyonce, and while Blue Ivy is on her debut era, second album or third album era, will they have problems? Will they be competing? Will they see each other as competition? So this person that is said to take over Beyonce's position, will she be competing with Blue Ivy in the future? We have the King of Pentacles and we have the Eight of Wands. And yes, it feels like a fierce competition. Okay, so that's it as question that we were on. I got interrupted, so let me get back to the question. Okay, so you wanted to know if Blue Ivy was going to be competing against this other artist. If we get the Eight of Wands and the yes, I feel like the King of Pentacles, two yeses. I feel like this will be fierce competition. But the thing is, the King of Pentacles is the money man, the businessman, the one who has financial stability, the one with the backing. And Blue Ivy's father is in the music industry. This King of Pentacles came out as Jay-Z. in Tyler's reading as well. Now, that's interesting. Tyler could be it. Someone did mention, do you think it's Tyler? It could be. I'm not sure. But I do feel that there will be fierce competition here with the Five of Wands. The leg up goes to Blue Ivy because her father is the one in the industry. He's a power player. He makes moves in the industry here. So, when it comes to the next question, you have when... Wait, it's hard for me to read these. Give me a second. When you said that she debuts before 2031, that dethrones Beyonce at some point. Will Beyonce be pissed or threatened that it wasn't Blue Ivy? Okay, so will this person kind of throw a monkey wrench in Beyonce's plans? You have the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Beyonce's going to work very hard to prevent that from happening. Again, the leg up goes to Beyonce, Blue Ivy, Jay-Z. They are the royal family, so to speak, in the music industry. While this Virgo energy, she's going to do everything she can. Her connections in the industry will be able to boot this other person out of position, unfortunately. It's unfair, but this is the family business. Your next question. Will she force Blue Ivy to compete with the girl that dethroned her? Well, Blue Ivy is showing up as the heir to the throne with the Ten of Pentacles here. Again, that's the family business. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups. That's a yes, and we have the Magician, yes. So this is Beyonce using her willpower. She is the magician. She's going to work her magic. She's going to use every available resource to get what she wants out of this situation. Two cards of manifestation. She'll also use magic if she needs to. She's going to use every resource that she has to sway the favor towards her child. Will Blue Ivy win any Grammys for her debut album? Let's see. Yes, we have the Knight of Cups. I think Blue Ivy is a great writer. I think I heard her grandfather say she's a great writer. Yes, you have all yeses. Four of Wands, which is success. You have the Two of Cups, which is yes. This is gifts. Exchange. I can see her standing up there. Again, I'm getting like passing the torch here. She has three yeses. She's going to be, the thing is, Blue Ivy's going to get comfortable on stage. I do feel like there may be a duet, like I said before. Could be somewhat of a love song with the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups here. Going into the Four of Wands. It feels very comfortable. Whatever this is, again, she has a range, her singing range, her music. It's very comfortable for her. And there's somebody else here that feels like it's getting rewarded as well with her. So there will be someone that she may do a song with. She's going to get comfortable on stage after a while. It's going to feel like home, but she just got to work. She's got to work out the kinks. She's a very great songwriter, though. Did Blue Ivy win a Grammy already for writing a song? Didn't she win a Grammy for Brown Skin Girls? Am I wrong? Let me look that up because it looks like I'm getting the feeling of like I already have a Grammy. So let me see. I hear that. So let's see. Okay, so Blue Ivy already has a Grammy. She won it at 9 years old. For Brown Skin Girl. Okay, so Blue Ivy already has a Grammy under her belt. And she won that Grammy in 2021. So yeah, she is one of the youngest Grammy Award winners in history. So again, she already started making history. This Two of Cups could be saying this is her second Grammy. Yeah, she will win a Grammy. Now, let me get back to your questions here. Okay, let's get back to your questions. Will she win a Grammy? Okay, will Beyonce and Jay-Z and buy Blue Ivy Grammys for her debut album? So Blue Ivy has a high status. So will they buy her a Grammy? Will they pay for it? Will they cheat? You have the Tower. The Tower is a no. And the Two of Swords. They may try, but it will be blocked. They can't know. The answer is no. But it doesn't mean they won't try with the Two of Swords. But there may be a rejection or blockage to them getting it here. No, they won't. Next question, will Beyonce make Blue Ivy siphon energy from all the female artists so she's more superior than them? We have the Ace of Swords and we have the Five of Cups. Wow. Okay, so we have the moon here. That could be moon magic. The Ace of Swords is a yes. The Five of Cups is a no. But I do feel like this could be causing grief to other people. It's the connections that they have. It's the fact that Blue Ivy has a leg up on the competition before she even starts. And this leads to disappointment here. These cups just give me Grammys here. And it feels like beating out the competition. So I do believe the answer to that question may be yes. So they're depleting other people's happiness, stealing other people's joy, allegedly. So disappointments to other people, again due to the connections in the industry behind the scenes. Okay, will pop girls be threatened by Blue Ivy's debut era? What we have here? We have the Five of Wands, yes. Opposition, fighting, conflict, competition, yes. It's a maybe on the card, but the answer is yes. It's competition and obstacles, disagreement, rivalry, opposition, and then you have the Queen of Cups here. That's the mother. Yeah, so it feels like even older artists may be affected by this. With this Queen of Cups, it's usually an older woman, like in her 30s or so, 30s or older. But this could also be Beyonce behind the scenes orchestrating this. Yeah, there's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of hurt feelings here. Okay. Will Beyonce make Blue Ivy get surgery? Oh, that's a good one. Will they make Blue Ivy get surgery? Oh, the Queen of Wands. That's the aesthetics that represents surgery. Yes. Yes. It's about the beauty, the aesthetics, and the Knight of Wands, so she can be more attractive. Now, I said this in the first Blue Ivy reading that I did. I feel that there's something about this sex kitten energy, and I'm hoping and praying that they do not sexualize this child. I really don't like that. But this Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands is absolutely yes. To make her more attractive. And I don't mean face-wise, I think she's beautiful, but I mean as far as being appealing. And there have been people who have already said when they go to these award shows, she's dressed too, grown and, she's showing cleavage and all of these things. And, the Queen of Wands is very much about the first impression, the appearance, the ego, the look, the aesthetic. Wow. Okay. Is that it? Okay, he said, so you don't have to do this, you really don't, but it came to my head, you don't have to do it, but will Jay-Z ever touch or has touched Blue Ivy inappropriately? The reason I ask is you never ever know. You just never know. I mean, that's true, you never know. I'm going to say I strongly feel like no, but let's just see. And this will be a very big allegedly right here. Okay, something flipped in reverse. The Death card. This is interesting. Let me get one more. The Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. I feel like you remember when Michael Jackson, when they asked him if he touched children, he said he would off himself before he would ever do something like that. I feel like this is what Jay-Z is saying. That would never happen. That wouldn't even be a last resort for me as an option. Absolutely not. No. I think the answer is no. Okay. Your next question is, I know this is very weird, but... Oh, you already said that. Oh, no. Wait, this is a different question. I know this is very weird, but you just never know. Will Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Blue ever have a threesome? Okay, no. There's nothing like that going on here. Has Jay-Z ever made Blue Ivy give him... Oh my God, what kind of questions are these? No, there's nothing inappropriate. I'm going to skip over these questions. There's nothing inappropriate that I see with his Jay-Z and his daughter. I feel like he's very proud of her. I feel like he loves her a lot. He seems to really just... If he has a favorite child, I think it's Blue. I don't think there's anything like that going on. Okay, so the girl that dethrones Beyonce in the future music career, will Jay-Z try to date her publicly? Well, in the Beyonce and the Tyler reading, it did show up that Beyonce may have a little insecurity about something like that. Allegedly. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. Reverse. The No. He's going to keep it strictly business. The Strength card, he's going to keep it strictly business now. Strength card may mean that he's fighting the urge to do it, but he's not going to do it. He's going to practice some discipline. No. He wants to protect his status. He also is looking at how it can affect the project, the work, messing up the money. No, he's saying it's not worth the investment here. He feels like that's not worth his time. So he is practicing some level of discipline with this girl. Let's see. Will Jay-Z and Beyonce be divorced by the time the girl debuts, or will Jay-Z and Beyonce stay together while this girl debuts? Okay. Three of Cups, they're not divorcing. Okay, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles. They may even end up renewing their vows at some point. I don't know if they've already done that. I'm not sure. It's showing past tense. Let me look this up. Have they ever renewed their vows? Because I have a strong feeling they have. Let's see. Okay, so yes, they renewed their vows in 2018 to celebrate their 10th anniversary. Okay, so they initially shared intimate footage of the private ceremony on giant screens during their On the Run 2 tour. Okay, so yeah, they have already renewed their vows. Okay, now we're coming up on 8 years. So this is 8 years. So this is their 18th year. Wow, they've been married for a long time. This is their 18th year together. No, I don't see them going their separate ways. I do feel that there may be something with the contract, a renewal of the contract, though, with the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe a new ring, an updated ring, or like I said, this is showing me past tense. These two are they're going to thug this out. They're going to stay together. The only one that will leave this relationship would be Beyonce, and I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. Let's get back to your questions. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of questions here, so let me get back to where I was. Okay, so where were we? How many sales will Blue Ivy's second album first week sell? Okay, that's going to actually be better than the verse. So that could be like anywhere between that 1 to 200 to 2 to 300,000. It's going to come out the gate on fire. She's going to be building on momentum here. It could be something right on the heels of another album. They could come out close together. Okay, so you said the girl who debuts before 2031 ends up dethroning Beyonce. Meanwhile, Blue Ivy will fail to dethrone her, or will the second place to the real girl who actually dethroned? What you think? I don't know if I understand the question. Blue Ivy will fail. Well, Blue Ivy will be positioned. That's the thing. She's not going to really have to earn it. She'll be positioned. Will Blue Ivy be friends with the girl that dethrones Beyonce? If yes, will Blue Ivy tell the girl that dethrones Beyonce all the bad things Beyonce does to her? Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles here. We have the Hierophant. If this girl is older than Blue Ivy, which I believe she is or will be, she may actually build a friendship with her. They may have a lot in common, as the Hierophant usually talks about like-minded people, and the Six of Pentacles is usually a very balanced, fair, reciprocal relationship. So there could be a lot of similarities between them. I was reading recently, a lot of people were saying they feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce are trying to put Blue Ivy in the image of Aaliyah. And that's something that I have started to notice, the way they dress her, do her hair, things of that nature. So it'll be interesting if they make a play for. That's kind of what I feel like her music may be. Even though Aaliyah did have a higher register, she kind of stuck within her register. She didn't usually go outside of that. On a few songs she did. But she usually stuck within her register, almost like she was talk singing. But anyway, back to this question. I think they will be friends. I don't think Beyonce does anything bad to her, but let's see. What do we have here? We have the Moon. Okay, that could be secrets in the Four of Pentacles. Okay, well, You never know. The moon and the Four of Pentacles could be things that give her deep-seated issues that she's holding on to, grudges that she might have. So there could be a possibility for that. You have a no and a yes. Now, sometimes this Four of Pentacles can be holding on to things, being unwilling to let them go. So there could be a lot that she suppresses, to protect her parents, to protect her mother. If there is something going on, I don't feel that there is. I don't. But, if there is something going on under this moon, which is hidden, secrecy, deception, there could be. It looks like she'll kind of like take that to the grave, though. I don't see her sharing that with anybody. Okay, so when Blue Ivy debuts, you need places to perform to promote your music. We don't really have stuff. Jimmy Fallon, that's it. Like, we don't have stuff. Will she perform on Jimmy Fallon's show? Will Beyonce make her perform everywhere? What we got here? Oh, we got the Devil, and we got the Five of Pentacles. I feel like there is some man here that is running Blue Ivy's career behind the scenes. Whoever this person is, I do not like this energy. Could be a Capricorn person. I feel that there's something about... There's exclusivity here. Blue Ivy is going to be very sheltered. That may sound weird, but she's going to be very sheltered here. I don't know who this man is. I do not know who this man is. But there's a man that shows up in her reading. It's not her father. It's someone else. This man shows up. I mean, the devil is here. And it could literally be the energy of the devil, the dark energy, that shadow figure, that shadow world. This Five of Pentacles energy just gives me exclusion. It feels like getting close to Blue Ivy is going to be very difficult. I don't necessarily see her doing small gigs like that. It feels like her energy, her image, her career is going to be cultivated in a way where it's going to be all about exclusivity. Everybody can't get in. Everybody can't afford the tickets. Like that kind of thing. There's like an obsession here. I don't know who this man is that's showing up as obsessed with her, but it feels like a very inappropriate relationship. So we have to pray over her, like we do all the children, that they stay safe and out of the grips of these kind of people. Okay, so it says here, Blue Ivy's heart. Is Blue Ivy's heart going to change and be like Beyonce's, wanting to be on top, willing to destroy anyone? That's a good question. Okay, we have a no, Eight of Cups. I love that answer. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Blue Ivy is going to want to play by the rules. Now, the people behind her, maybe not, but I feel like she will want to play by the rules. Blue Ivy shows up as someone who's operating in some degree of integrity. It strongly feels like she's following her destiny. I mean, she's Destiny's child, right? The card says destiny. Change, intuition. Blue Ivy is very guided by her instincts. I think she has very good energy. She has good karma. The Wheel of Fortune is in the upright, and she's willing to walk away if something is not right. Also, I talked about this in the first Blue Ivy reading. She got this Eight of Cups, being willing to walk away. If fame ever becomes too much for her, if it ever becomes too dark for her, she will walk away from the industry. I really love her little sweet energy. She has very sweet energy. She's very divinely protected. This Wheel of Fortune is divine intervention. Nothing's going to happen to her. I've said this before in her previous reading. Blue Ivy is the product of, I'm going to say witches, for lack of a better word. This is not to insult Beyonce's family. Beyonce's family is from New Iberia, okay, from Louisiana, okay? So we know that the roots, the spirit cooking down there is a real thing. They do not play about putting protections over future generations. She is very divinely protected. Very divinely protected. She's going to be fine. Her heart will not change. All right, but it says here, when Blue Ivy debuts, will she have an IG page? That's a good question. I kind of talked about that earlier. Let's see. We have yes, Two of Wands. I feel like it may be run by someone else. Yeah, Six of Swords. She'll be guided by somebody who knows how to handle those things. Okay, now once she becomes a full-grown adult, obviously her parents can't control that. You got the King of Wands here. That's Jay-Z. Definitely, again, very insulated, protected, sheltered. So it'll be very heavily monitored by the proper people. So it's sort of going to get in her head, like I said earlier. Okay, what else? Will Jay-Z make her dress up in a protective way before she starts debuting? A protective way? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you all saw him at one of these recent events they were at, and he was telling her to cover her chest, so He's very protective. Okay, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, he's warning her about the tricks in the industry. Literally and figuratively, he's warning her about the tricks. He's very protective over her. He doesn't want anything to happen to his baby girl. Okay, will Beyonce and Jay-Z make Blue Ivy get into a business relationship so she gets to the top? Okay, so we have the Fool. And we have the Empress. Interesting. That's the mama right there, pulling the strings. Beyonce has more connections than Jay-Z. So the answer to your question is 2 yeses. So this could be them jumping into something kind of spontaneously to give her the push she needs with the Fool. So she has luck, beginner's luck. Okay, so how will the Beehive feel about the girl that will eventually dethrone Beyonce as Blue Ivy? I don't know what this is. Oh, versus Blue Ivy at first. How will the Beehive feel about the girl that will eventually dethrone Beyonce versus Blue Ivy at first? Oh, the Six of Wands. They're gonna choose their side. They're gonna go for the popular one, which is Blue Ivy. Six of Wands is having the advantage, and the High Priestess. Okay, there could definitely be a lot of work here going on behind the scenes, spiritual work. So this other person is going to be pushed into anonymity, and they're going to put Blue Ivy on the pedestal. Six of Wands is about being on the pedestal, being popular. She's going to trump any other artist that tries to come out, any other female artist that tries to come out around this time. She's going to carry the torch. She is. She is one to carry the torch. Okay. Last question. How will the Beehive feel about the girl that dethrones Beyonce and Blue Ivy versus 15 years later? So as time goes by. Okay, we have the Emperor in reverse. We have the Ace of Wands. They'll be on to the next thing. And we have the Seven of Wands. Ace of Cups. Okay, yeah, there's new energy that'll come in over the next 15 years. Which at that point, Blue Ivy will be nearing 30 years old. So there'll be some new energy that'll come in around that time. The fan base is going to always be the fan base. They're going to be very defensive and territorial. They don't want new energy coming in, but there's a new person that may come in around 15 years from now. All right, let's see if she has anything to say in the Oracle cards. Blue Ivy, anything you want to say about your life, your career, what's coming up for you? Blue Ivy, she says she's humble. She has humanity and spirituality. She's a very spiritually guided person, and she believes in doing what's right. I said that, yeah. She has strong personal boundaries, and I love that for her. I was thinking about last night, I was thinking about Jay-Z telling a story about correcting her, getting her in the car when she was younger and getting her off to school and they were running late. And she looked at him from the back, you know, in the rearview mirror, and she said, I didn't like the way you spoke to me. You hurt my feelings. And he was so impressed with her standing up for herself. So she very much, Beyonce described her as fire before. She is a Capricorn. Capricorns are cardinal signs. They are leaders naturally. They stand up for themselves. So Blue Ivy's going to be fine. She's saying, I'm a humble person. She's saying she's very attentive to detail. She's very particular. She's very much a perfectionist like her mother. She can have OCD. She likes things to be neat and orderly. She says she's likable, she's bold, she's confident, she's fun. So she's seeing herself as the Queen of Wands, which did come out here. But I feel like also that's pressure to look a certain way, you know? So she could really scrutinize her looks here. Maybe comparing herself to her mother. Says she's an open and honest person. She loves to be herself. She wants people to accept her as she is. She is magnetic naturally. I mean, she's a natural born star just by virtue of her parents, not even needing to have any talent, you know? This is the way the society is now. This is where the parasocial relationships come in, where people even love the children of the favorite celebrities. She's aware, she's very aware of that. Okay, so she's pointing out here things in the industry that she doesn't like. What are you saying about this? She's pointing out something with the women in the industry. What are you saying here? She's talking about the women in the industry being all beauty and no brains. She doesn't want to be that way. She's a good songwriter. I'm telling you, I can feel it. She's a great songwriter. This is where her strength is going to be. Almost like I said before, like Willow Smith. Her pen game is going to be very strong. She doesn't like people taking her for granted. She says, keep it cute. Temperance energy. Stay cool, calm, and classy during tough times. Keep your composure. Play it safe and cool. This is decorum. This is poise. She's a very poised young lady. She's a very patient young lady. So she's like, this is going to be a slow unveil. I'm not coming in hot. I'm coming in slowly. And part of the rollout is what we're already seeing, these performances. Show me more. Okay. Okay, so she's pointing out the magician here. She says she's the conduit of universal wisdom. She is the bridge between heaven and earth, a messenger of divine will, using every element to manifest her desires into reality and channel the universe's wisdom, as above, so below, as within, so without. She said that there are going to be people who feel a way about her ability to manifest, not only due to her own gifts and talents, because she does have gifts and talent, which again is communication, is writing with this Mercury energy of the magician. But she also feels like there are going to be people who don't like her just on the strength of her parents. This could be a part of her resignation about coming out as well. Yeah, she feels wanted, she feels desired, wished for, pursued, fond of, and requested. And she's talking about this compensation, the money she's going to make. She knows she's setting herself up for success. She says she's coming in kicking up death, making necessary changes, taking charge, standing her ground, again, being assertive. And her father has a role to play in this. Again, she says she's playing it safe. She's going to get better over time. She's pointing out she has impulse control. She'll never get lost in the industry. She'll never be a person who struggles with any kind of addictions, any vice. She's got control over herself. And she's pointing out the conspiracies that people have about her parents and being an Illuminati, so forth and so on. She's pointing that out here. A scheme, a plot, a strategy, a plan, collusion, conniving, the cabal, the secret political clique or faction, collaborative efforts here, the Three of Pentacles. So she's pointing out a lot of competition here, people being upset with her, feeling like she has an unfair advantage because of her parents, and she knows that. But again, she wants to keep a clean image. We have squeaky clean. Okay. Yeah, she feels like that. Again, she wants to work with other women. That's really big for her. And she wants to maintain a private life, the Hermit card here. She's not going to like the fame as much as maybe her parents do, but she's going to like performing and art and all of that, the creative process. But she doesn't like the industry politics, and she's very aware of them even at a young age. And the next card is speaking of words and speech and something spoken or unspoken, and I feel like that's her writing skills. Again, we're going to see as this manifests how great she is at writing. I feel like she's more of a writer than she is a singer or performer. And that's going to be her strong suit. All right, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll see you in the next episode.